Hey guys, I'm Jessie, and today I have a whole bunch of May sci-fi and fantasy releases to talk about with y'all. These are by no means all of the sci-fi and fantasy books coming out in the month of May, but these are the ones that I found that sounded really cool and I kind of wanted to share with you guys. Again, this also doesn't mean that these are all the books that I will be reading. These are ones that I found that sounded really cool that I wanted to tell people about. I will also have like a more comprehensive list, I guess, listed on my website, and you can find that in the description bar. Yeah, there's no way I'm going to talk about all of them. I looked at my list and I have like 40 different books. I'm not talking about that many books. That would be a 3-hour video. Like, we're just not doing it. So we're going to try to keep it short, sweet, talk about the ones that I feel are the most exciting. You can check out the rest of them on my website. And I'm just going to give you like really short synopsises of them, and you can, click through and see more and all that fun jazz. They're always listed in the description bar. But let's go ahead and jump into it because I don't want this to be a 2-hour video. I'm also going to try to do this in release date order. No promises. So this first one is coming out on May 1st, and that is Seeds of War by João F. Silva. This is a self-published fantasy book. I do talk about it more in my self-published discoveries video that you can find, so we're not going to spend a whole lot of time on it. You can go and check that out. But it did sound really cool. It says, Gilmore is a single mother and war veteran turned crime boss set on protecting her family and her town. Albris is a petty thief pretending to be a god to protect a terrible secret. Red now is the world's most feared mercenary, but his best days are behind him and there's one job left to do. So this is the first book in what they're calling the Smokesmiths series, and it says the Smokesmiths is a gritty epic fantasy with harsh world of smoke magic, alien creatures, and ancient secrets where characters do their best to come out on top and peace will not last. Honestly, it sounds really cool. Definitely check out that self-published video I did because there's a whole lot more self-published books, but this one is coming out in May, so real excited. All right, coming out on May 3rd is Drifter's Realm, and this is by Anne-Marie Mazzotti Govia, and this is, I believe, a middle grade. So I've been also kind of looking for more middle grade because, my daughters and my son actually are starting to kind of move into that like reading level, so very excited. And the cover to this is really, really pretty. 3 siblings with ancient backpack powers living in a mystical world. Together with their friends, they travel through forests, deserts, caves, and swamps in order to fight against the Guardians, a stormcatcher named Tora and her father, First City leader Quinlan, in a battle between good and evil. The outcome of this conflict will have significant consequences for their world's future. It sounds really cool. There's a whole lot more synopsis, and like I said, we're trying to keep this short and sweet for you guys, but go check it out. Okay, so we're jumping back a day, and this is May 2nd, and it is The Thorns Remain, and this is by J.J.A. Harwood, and it says, a dance with Fae will change everything. 1919, in a highland village forgotten by the world, harvest season is over and the young who remain after war and flu have ravaged the village will soon head south to make something of themselves. Mariah and her friends head to the forest for a last night of laughter before parting ways. Mariah is being left behind. She had plans to leave once, but her lover died in France and with him her future. The friends light a fire, sing and dance, but with every twirl about the flames, strange new dancers thread between them, music streaming from the trees. The Fae are here. Suddenly she finds herself alone, her friends spirited away. The iron metal of her lost love pinned to her dress protected her from the magic. For the Fae feel forgotten too. Led by the darkly handsome Lord of the Fae, they're out to make themselves known once more. Mariah must enter into a bargain with the Lord to save her friends, and fast. For the longer one spends with the Fae, the less like themselves they are upon return. If Mariah cannot save her friends before Beltane, they will be lost forever. It sounds really cool. I'm not totally sure if it's for me, but I know a lot of people love Fae stories, and I have been trying to give them more chances because I know they're not all Sarah J. Maas. I think I just didn't like Sarah J. Maas Holly Black, so willing to give it a try, and it did sound really cool, like historical fantasy. The next one coming out on May 2nd is another middle grade, and that is The One and Only Ruby. And this is the third book in the One and Only Ivan. Okay, my daughter loves these, so I had to shout it out. She read the first one in school, absolutely loved it. They watched the movie. Then they read the second one. It's like The One and Only Bob. Loved it. So I'm just excited for this. It's just a cute middle grade series. So if you haven't read it, it's adorable. Pick it up. If you haven't watched the movie, watch it. If you have kids, pick it up. So we won't go too much into this one, but it is adorable. The next one coming out on the 2nd as well is Dragonfall by L.R. Lamb. This one says, long ago, humans betrayed dragons, stealing their magic and banishing them to a dying world. Centuries later, their descendants worship dragons as gods, but the gods remember, and they do not forgive. This book does have some kind of mixed reviews, mixed early reviews, but I don't care. Dragons, sold. All right, also coming out on the 2nd is Fourth Wing, and this is by Rebecca Yarros. I actually pre-ordered a really pretty edition of this, so I'm very excited. And it says, enter the brutal and elite world of a war college for dragon riders. That's really all you had to tell me. Again, like I said, dragon riders. And I'm sold. All right, keeping them coming with May 2nd. The next one is The Sword Defiant by Gareth Ryder Harana. This is set in a dark world of myth and dangerous prophecy. Thrilling fantasy launches an epic tale of daring warriors, living weapons, and bloodthirsty vengeance. All right, still on May 2nd. The next one is I Love the Gods, and this is by Amy Kaufman. So I'm kind of excited to read this because I've never read a book that's just by Amy Kaufman, but I haven't liked her collaborations with Jay Kristoff. So we'll see. This one says it is magic, romance, and slumbering gods clash in the start of a riveting fantasy series that spans gangsters' dens, forgotten temples, and the high seas. And I'm pretty sure this is going to be in a box. I think this is the last one from May 2nd, and it is A Portrait in Shadow by Nicole Jarvis. This is more of like a historical fiction fantasy that sounded really interesting. Enter the sumptuous world of 17th century Florence, where art and magic are interwoven. Artemisia is a bright talent mired in shadows and will stop at nothing to make her mark or exact her revenge. And it's perfect for fans of Susanna Clarke. It sounds really cool. It's very like historical fiction. It actually like mentions real life people like Galileo and stuff like that. And it's got like magic interwoven into art. So it sounded really cool. All right. So coming out on the 9th of May, we have To Shape a Dragon's Breath. And this is by Monaquill Blackgoose. This one says, a young indigenous woman enters a colonizer-run dragon academy and quickly finds herself at odds with the approved way of doing things in this first book of this brilliant new fantasy series. Again, all I need to know right there is it's dragon. So sold. All right, coming out on May 9th as well, we have The Book That Wouldn't Burn by Mark Lawrence. It says the boy has lived his whole life trapped within a vast library older than empires and larger than cities. A girl has spent hers in a tiny settlement out on the dust where nightmares stalk and no one goes. The world has never noticed them, and that's about to change. Their stories spiral around each other across worlds and time. This is a tale of truth and lies and hearts and the blurring of one into another. A journey on which knowledge erodes certainty and on which, through pen, may be mightier than the sword, blood will be spilled and cities burned. Oh, we missed one because my list is not organized right, apparently. Coming out on May 1st is Painted Devils. And that is by Margaret Owens, and it is the sequel to Little Thieves, which I'm very excited about because I liked the first book a lot. Okay, so my list, for some reason, so I'm writing it off my Goodreads thing. For Painted Thieves, one of these says it comes out on the 1st. Scroll down a second, it says it comes out on the 16th of May. That has to be the difference in the UK and the US, probably, so it's one of the two of those. This one only had one date, and it says it's coming out on the 16th of May, and it is The Malevolent Seven by Sebastian de Castell. It says 7 powerful mages want to make the world a better place. We're gonna kill them first. What? That's a really cool blurb for one. It says, picture a wizard. Go ahead. Close your eyes. There he is. See a skinny old guy with a long scraggly beard? No doubt he's wearing iridescent silk robes that couldn't protect his frail body from a light breeze. That hat's a must too, right? Big floppy thing covered in esoteric symbols that would instantly show every other mage where this one gets his magic. Wouldn't want a simple steel helmet or something that might, protect the part of him that he needed for conjuring magical forces from being bashed in with a mace. Or pretty much any other household object. Now open your eyes and let me show you what a real war mage looks like. But be warned, you're probably not going to like it. Because we're violent, angry, dangerously broken people who sell our skills to the highest bidder and be damned to any moral or ethical considerations. At least, until such irritating concepts as friendship and the end of the world get in the way. My name is Kate Ombra, and though I currently make my living as a mercenary wondrist, I used to have a far more noble-sounding job title, till I discovered that the people that I worked for weren't quite as noble as I believed. Now I'm on the run, and my only friend, a homicidal thunder mage, has invited me to join him on a suicide mission against the 7 deadliest mages on the continent. Time to recruit some very bad people and help us on this job. I don't know about you, but that sounds fantastic. Another May 16th release is The Enchanted Hacienda by J.C. Cervantes. And something about this just gave me Encanto vibes, but adult. When Harlow Estrada is abruptly fired from her dream job and her boyfriend proves to be a jerk, her world turns upside down. She flees New York City to one place she can always call home, the Enchanted Hacienda Estrada. With unforeseen twists, romance, and a heavy sprinkle of magic, The Enchanted Hacienda is a captivating coming-of-age debut exploring identity, unconditional family love, and uncovering the magic within us all. Next up, we have Of Light and Shadow by Tanaz Bahenta, and this comes out on May 23rd. And just the quick blurb says, when they don't give us our birthright, we steal it. Inspired by the Badlands of 17th century India, it's a standalone epic fantasy novel packed with political tensions, dangerous schemes, and swoon-worthy romance that asks the age-old question, can love conquer all? Continuing on with the 23rd of May, we have Magic Has No Border. And this is actually a short story collection, which sounds so interesting. It is a lush collection of South Asian folklore legends and epic reimagining for a modern audience. But yeah, it sounds really cool, and like there's gonna be a lot of really fun short stories, really good short stories in it, so I'm excited for that collection. Also on the 23rd is The Will of Many by James Eilington, and this says, at the Elite Academy, a young fugitive uncovers layered mysteries and world-changing secrets in this new fantasy series by internationally best-selling author of the Lycanius trilogy. I've not yet read the Lycanius trilogy, but I have been meaning to, but this sounds really cool because it's like set at a school, so really excited. The next one is a sci-fi, and it is also coming out on the 23rd, and that is The Blighted Stars by Megan E. O'Keefe. And this one is, when a spy is stranded on a dead planet with her mortal enemy, she must first figure out how to survive before she can uncover the conspiracy that landed them both there in the first place. Continuing on with the 23rd, very popular date, we've got The Battle Gem by Sara El Arifi, and this is the sequel to The Final Strife, which I have yet to read, but I want to read. So I'm excited that the sequel's coming out. Another one on the 23rd, I think this is the last one from the 23rd, is On the Nature of Magic by Marianne Womack, and it says this is a gothic supernatural mystery for fans of The Quickening and The Shape of Darkness, featuring real-life events and people, where 2 English women claim to have seen the ghost of Marie Antoinette in the Garden of Versailles. So it's like an historical fiction fantasy. Coming out on the 30th, we have Witch King by Martha Wells. That's the same author as All Systems Red, which I really liked. Didn't love, but I really liked All Systems Red. Haven't continued on, but it was fun. It says, after being murdered, his consciousness dormant and unaware of the passing of time while confined in an elaborate water trap, Kai awakens to find a lesser mage attempting to harness Kai's magic to his own advantage. That was never gonna go well. But why was Kai imprisoned in the first place? What has changed in the world since his assassination? And why does the Rising World Coalition appear to be growing in influence? Kai will need to pull his allies close and draw on all of his pain magic if he is to answer even the least of these questions. He's not gonna like the answers. All right, and this one also comes out on the 30th, and that is Ink Blood Sister Scribe by Emma Torres. And it says it is a spellbinding debut novel. Two estranged half-sisters tasked with guarding their family's library of magical books must work together to unravel a deadly secret at the heart of their collection. A tale of familial loyalty and betrayal, and the pursuit of magic and power. Libraries. It's got a library. It's got a magic library. What else do I need? And then the last one that we're going to talk about today is The Wishing Game by Meg Schaefer. Again, coming out on the 30th. This one actually sounds like it's very light on the fantasy aspect, but it just sounded too cool not to recommend here. It says, years ago, a mega reclusive, best-selling children's author quit writing under mysterious circumstances. Suddenly, he resurfaces with a brand new book and a one-of-a-kind competition, offering a prize that will change the winner's life in this absorbing and whimsical novel. It sounds like Charlie and the Chocolate Factory, doesn't it? Like, the recluse comes out and he has the competition and invites certain people. Like, sounds like Willy Wonka, and I'm kind of sold on it, so really excited. It's got a much longer description that you can read, but that's all I needed to know. And of course, that is not all the books coming out in May, but that is all the ones that I have time to talk about. If you want to see more, I can list my blog post down below. There's going to be many more books mentioned there, organized, linked, all the fun things. Let me know what May fantasy book releases you are most excited about. And if I missed any on this list, definitely let me know because I'm always looking for more. All right, guys, thanks for hanging out. I'm Jessie, and I'll talk to you next time. Bye.